Well, this does happen. A lot of times people who are best friends become boyfriend and girlfriend. It happens a lot, okay? Now, what you do need to realize though is that this kind of relationship that you're in now is different from what it was like when you were best friends. A lot of times people just sort of think that, well, I know them already and we were best friends and we're just going to kind of transition into boyfriend, girlfriend. And it's not really going to be a big deal because we've been best friends forever anyway, you know. So it's just going to be the same thing except now we're sleeping together. It couldn't be further from the truth. All right. You have entered into a totally different kind of relationship, which means you have to bring a totally different kind of attitude towards that relationship. There's certain things that you got away with when you were best friends that you're not going to get away with now that you're dating on a serious exclusive level. Okay. So you have to kind of understand that you're just not going to get away with certain things like that, or you might get away with it, but over time it's going to add up. All right. Over time it's going to add up. For example, let's say when you were best friends, you could really get away with saying some really sort of stuff that would put them down, you know, maybe call them names and stuff. And you're just joking, you just call them names. You know, they're your best friends, so they don't care, right? Now that you're actually in an intimate relationship now, you've taken your relationship to a whole other level, which means when you call them those same words, it could actually be hurtful now. It really could. So if you used to just call them, oh, you little sour puss, or oh, you little bitch, or oh, you little, you know, dick, or whatever, and you always used to say that when you were best friends, it meant nothing. Now, you know, now that you're actually together and you're serious, when you use those words, and those are just examples, it could actually mean something more. It could actually hurt when you use those words because your partner might now feel like they're on another level with you and you should not be calling them those names, especially if the both of you maybe had some kind of spat before that, you know, and now you've maybe made up and you still calling them those names. They could take it the other way, you know, because once, honestly, once sex gets involved, once you get into like a relationship, it just changes stuff. So the point here honestly is make sure you approach this relationship like most other people who get into romantic relationships approach them. You've got to see it as a new phase. You've got to see it as a phase where you're not just going to discover each other's bodies if you didn't sleep with them before as best friends. Even if you did, now you're going to discover them even more, but you're also just going to discover parts of someone that you're going to discover parts of them that you didn't know before. You might think you were best friends, but you're going to now discover parts of them that's weak, parts of them that's vulnerable. Okay, they're going to open up themselves to you in a way that they never have. And as feelings intensify, as your relationship continues to move forward, it becomes really important that the both of you make sure that you're always on the same page. The both of you, stuff like I said earlier, stuff you used to get away with when you were best friends, some of that stuff you're not going to get away with now. Okay, so whenever you may have had um, maybe a spat when you were best friends, maybe a fight or something, and you just kind of let it go, and you know, maybe you guys didn't speak for a few days and then it blew over and then you were back together again, talking, chatting, playing around, whatever. When you're in a relationship, you can't let that kind of time go by, okay? Because it just makes things worse. If you get into fights, you got to get them resolved as quickly as possible, because the longer you wait, the deeper the pain grows, you know. And even if you make up as time goes on and you have another fight and you leave a whole bunch of time and then you get back together again, or nobody really apologizes or whatever, it all adds up. And then one day, one of you is going to say, well, you know, you did this, this, and this, and I'm hurt. And you're going to go, what do you mean? That was like, you know, that was a long time ago. I thought we made up. Well, no, not really. We never really made up. We never actually really talked about it. And then you're going, I thought we did. No, we didn't. We just kind of got back together again and, you know, nobody talked about it. So the whole point I'm trying to make here is this. Once you get into an actual relationship, things change. You just won't get away with stuff you used to, you know? So make sure you communicate as much as possible. Don't sleep on anything. If there was a fight, try to get it resolved. Don't wait days and days. Calling people names, in all honesty, It gets more difficult when you are together, you know, when different emotions start coming in, because that's what happens. You're gonna start getting new emotions coming in. You know, you guys are gonna be intimate. You guys are gonna just be sharing stuff you never shared before. So people's feelings are gonna get hurt a lot easier now that you're both boyfriend, girlfriend. So just be cognizant of all this stuff, you know? Don't just think you're gonna become boyfriend, girlfriend, and you're just gonna be like when you were best friends, because it's not, okay? There's some dynamics that have changed. Just be cognizant of them and you should be okay.